we have had the opportunity to partner with an absolutely fantastic brand in Fox Valley Mall in Aurora, Illinois.
Mishmash is an urban adventure where teams work together to complete the challenges that are hidden behind every door.
It's kind of like a real-life Double Dare, American Gladiators, and Legend of the Hidden Temple. If you can conceptualize what Recess for Adults looks like, that's what Mishmash is.
Just like we do on YBI, we push yourselves here, or push yourselves at Mishmash too.
Make sure you check out Mishmash and support them and support our YouTube channel at the same time. YBI 15.
Get 15% off.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to YBI, where we discuss opinions and strategies on how to better your financial selves. Welcome to 2021. We have made it. Sound the alarms. Yes, sir. We here. Roman, what's good, my boy?
You know, living my best life, getting better any way I can every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all know how we do over here. Today, we are talking about something that has been very impactful for the last year, and we just want to kind of touch on it for moving forward in 2021. And this has probably impacted a lot of people or somebody that you know. It hits close to home here. We are talking about job loss. Job loss during COVID-19, job loss during during this entire pandemic, just what has happened to your financial situation during job loss, how to prevent, not necessarily prevent job loss, but prevent yourself from going down a financial spiral if and when these things do come into fruition. So that's what we want to talk about today, because it's been a really, really touchy subject, and we feel like we should talk about it. So, Roman, I know that you've kind of been affected by this a little bit during this, bartending and everything. So let's tell the people your story.
He said a little bit. I lost my job twice.
That's a little bit. That's a little bit.
It's just a little bit. Yeah, like ever since the beginning of the pandemic, lost it. Well, furloughed, laid off, whatever. And then in November, again, once COVID started to surge back up, lost it again. And really, I would say during both times, honestly, for me personally, I was not affected. Okay, I can see a little bit of effect because I had a plan. I had a plan going forward. I kind of saw the way the world was kind of going at the time. Like I was already hearing stories about countries shutting down in like October, November, or December, whatever, of 2019. So I was kind of thinking already, like, job security might be getting a little bit low. And I was already pretty financially sound to just start saving and putting money aside. That being said, like a lot of my friends and coworkers and people that I've known have really struggled during this time of just figuring out where that next rent payment's going to come from, or not being able to pay rent at all, or bills, or just more anxiety and stress of money coming over them of not having income. Yeah, during the first layoffs, that higher unemployment and those first stimulus checks really helped a lot of people out to at least be able to afford their bills. During this time of the last first end of the year, as we could see, that took a lot longer of an effect, and the payments are a lot less. So at that notion, a lot of people cannot afford to do a lot of things. So we're going to talk about that today and just figuring out how to get back on that plan to get those things together. Like I said, for me, it was like like we always said, having that 6 to 12 months saved up. Once you got that saved up, that allows you to ride these kind of waves and also getting back out there. As soon as I lost my job, I started applying for new jobs. So.
And you got another one. So yeah, I think that where a good place to start would be, let's go over some of these statistics, because we've done some research and found some statistics from December of 2019. So pretty recent in terms of,
2020, right?
2020, I'm sorry. December of 2020, that really do a great job of depicting what the crisis is that we're currently in. So Roman, you want to cue that up for me real quick? PowerPoint, you gonna be my clicker?
Yeah. best clicker you ever seen around these parts.
All right, let's do that. So this first figure, 1 in 6 adults with children um, lack sufficient food in the last 7 days. So 1 in 6, that is, there are 6 people in my family. Let's just put it like that. So one of us would have lacked food for their entire family within the last 7 days. And again, this was in December of 2020. Um, and that's pretty significant. But this all stems back, this leads back to, people are losing their jobs, meaning that they don't have enough money to provide for their family, meaning that, people can't provide, they can't create opportunities to buy food. That's messed up, and we don't want any, especially any of our viewers, ourselves, we want you guys to be able to make sure that you're in a position to always be able to provide for yourselves and for your families. And I just thought that was a staggering statistic. Let's scroll down to figure 2.
I'm also going to throw this in too as we go.
Okay.
If you are in a position to help people, kind of help. Even while reading this article here and everything, it was SNAP benefits are increasing on the rise. I hear stories on the news almost every day how food bank lines are just down the block. I'm just helping people out. If you got a little extra, give it.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we tried to do here with our platform. We don't have a ton, but we do try to give back to the community in different ways through giveaways. Just by people listening and sharing and all of those different things, we do giveaways and we do things. So hit us up, let us know, and we'll see how we can help. Different people, especially during this time. This one just goes by race and talking about which races are most affected by food insufficiency during the pandemic. All adults are down, are 13%. They found that 13% of all adults experience food insufficiency during the pandemic, while the greatest number affected was African Americans or Black people at 22%, followed closely by Latinos at 21%, and then other multiracial non-Latino people were affected at a rate of 19%. So all Black, Latino, and other races were affected far greater than all adults in general. But we have white Americans at 9%, and then Asian Americans down at 7%. So yeah, it just shows that this is a real thing. Especially when it comes to stability and food instability. Food is obviously a necessity. Food and shelter, which is where we're going next in figure 3. Shelter, what does that really look like? You gotta scroll
Figure
down.
3. I did.
There you go.
I was just doing a little move.
All right. Yes, sir. 1 in 5 renters are not caught up on rent during the pandemic, with Black renters facing the greatest hardship. Again, if you haven't been following the pandemic or following the trends of what's really going on, 1, this is a real thing. 2, this is affecting a lot of people, like a great number of people. And 3, African Americans are far greater, and Latinos as well, are far greater to be affected financially than pretty much any other ethnicity, as you can see. In terms of not being caught up on rent, all adults are 20%. There's 20% of people across the board, that are not caught up on rent. Black and Latino, or Black not Latino, are 29%, and then Latino are 26%. Asian are 21%, other is 18%, and white are 14%. So we see the trend that African Americans, Latinos, Asians are kind of up there as well in terms of, hey, we are not caught up on rent. Why? Why is that the case? I don't know how else to really hammer home that you have to have a plan. You have to be able to say, hey, I know that things are coming. You have to be able to anticipate where things are coming from, but you also need to be ahead. You got to be ahead of this stuff and start saving now. Start saving when we started to say start saving back in June. All of those things, they would have helped you a tremendous amount. If you had saved $50 a month back in June, you would have had far more than you do right now and not be behind on your rent, possibly. Those type of things, having index funds, having all of the other essential tools to have a savings plan, a saving strategy, are going to allow you to have more financial freedom, especially during these times.
This is also one of the statistics that kind of lead to the not even overall just economic struggle that this country could be facing towards the mid to end of this year. I would say maybe middle of this year, because if people can't pay their rent or can't pay their bills, evictions are going to go up. Housing prices are going to go down. That causes a whole lot more of it. We're already in a recession as it is, but that causes a lot more of a downturn, of a bubble effect. Not bubble effect, I would say, but just a downturning effect on the economy that we're going to see. This is a very big thing that's going on, and I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, we're hoping that this goes down. Let's scroll down to picture number 6, to figure number 6. Um, this is an excellent website that I would definitely recommend that you take a look at in greater detail if you
Put
want
the
to
link
actually
down
see.
below.
Oh, absolutely. We'll put the link down below right after you hit that like button and the subscribe bell and all that stuff. The link will be right underneath that. This figure, more than 1 in 3 adults had trouble paying for usual household expenses in the last 7 days. Like, look at this wording. It says more than 1 in 3. That means closer to 2 out of 3 had trouble paying for usual household expenses in the last 7 days. We're talking about paper towels, plates, juice, regular stuff that we
Gas
take for
bill,
granted.
utilities, gas,
Exactly.
anything like that.
Internet, things that you're like, hey, that you took for granted when the world was open and thriving. All adults, it was 36% had trouble paying for usual household expenses in the last 7 days. Black, not Latino, had 52%. 52%. 52% had trouble paying for usual household expenses in the last 7 days. 50% of Latinos, 45 of other multiracial, not Latino. Asian not Latino was 32%, and white not Latino was 29%. All of those numbers are high. That's really high.
Like that's insane.
It is like that's crazy to me. To just be able to think that our world in general, and we're looking in the United States, especially, and the concentration of where this pandemic is. Like, there's a high number of people with it. There's a high number of deaths. The mortality rate is high. It's just, this is a lot, and now we're looking at the financial ramifications of what's been going on due to the pandemic. So this was a staggering one for me. But as we're talking about job loss, we'll go down to number 7 and really look at the industries that have been affected. So all industries, regardless of the wage that you were receiving, are down 6%. So all jobs are down 6%. The lowest of which is coming from the highest paying jobs, which are at 3%. 3% of those jobs have been cut. Medium wage jobs are down 5%, and then low wage jobs are down 10%. So your low wage jobs, you're looking at things like fast food, you're looking at
Restaurants, hospitality,
exactly.
travel, all those industries where people would have summer jobs or simple thing, even like cleaning up office buildings, restocking vending machines, all of those like jobs that no one kind of really looked at. A lot of those just kind of went away.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. If you scroll down just a little bit to that sentence, it says that some 25 million people either met the official definition of unemployed, or were or looked for work in the last 4 weeks, or were temporarily laid off. So even Roman was, part of this category at one point or another. So this is not just you. This is not just the people that are around you. This is affecting us. This is affecting people. This is a real thing. And if you scroll through just a little bit, just so people can kind of see some of the other tables and graphs that are on here, they go state by state that show how many people lost jobs, how many people are now on STAMP, or the food
SNAP increases.
Yeah, the link card situation, all of that. Government assistance, pretty much, with purchasing food and things. Nationwide, we're looking at 1 in 6 renters that are not caught up on rent. That is table number 3. But it goes through each individual state, so you can kind of look at where you are in the state, and in the highest unemployment rates. Let's see where Illinois is. That's in table 5. We're at 6.9%. Illinois is at 6.9%.
The national average, last time I did the entire data pulled from November, was at 6.7%. So we're right, I guess, on the average for the.
Yeah, I would assume that it's going up because we have places like Hawaii that was in the 11%. Nevada is in the 11%, 11.5%. Hawaii was at 10.1%. I'm sorry. But there's a lot of information on here. And you can see, oh yeah, it's at the United States as a whole, 7.2% is where we're at. Yeah. This was in December of, so it is.
So it is updated.
Yeah.
And I can even say, just by looking at this chart, Hawaii, what is Hawaii big in? Hawaii's big in tourists for traveling around to the islands to hang out there. Let's see who else had a double digit. Nevada, Vegas. No one could go to the casinos. They're not earning any money at any of the restaurants or any of the hotels or anything. The Virgin Islands, vacation spot again. Like some of the biggest hit places, just that entire industry got wrecked.
Yeah. So this website, we'll put it in the description. It's Center on Budget and Policy Priorities.org. CBPP.org. Yeah, this was some great information that we were able to come across. So now we have to talk about what we have to do. If you guys watched the last video, it talked about our savings strategy and our savings goals for this year. The challenge for you guys is, to save as much money in this year as possible, because even during a pandemic, it's possible to save money. People really, when times really get hard, is when people start really trying to do things differently. So now is the time to change your mentality, change how you're thinking about saving money, change how you're thinking about your spending habits. Because when you get to your last dollar, you really got to make it stretch a little bit more. And I think that people really will go through their closets and be like, I don't need none of this. They'll be like, hey, my car is too expensive. Let me get rid of that. Hey, I don't need to get this. I don't need to get that. So you can really cut a lot of things. But at the same time, are you saving anything? I think that we have to go into hibernation mode at some point. It's bears. Is it bears? It's bears. Squirrels? Do squirrels be hibernating?
Yeah, some do. I mean, it's
squirrels
like a natural thing.
Because I saw a squirrel today. I saw a squirrel today, so I don't feel like they be hibernating.
A lot of woodland creatures hibernate. I don't know about squirrels, but I feel like I don't see as many squirrels in the winter.
It's a few out here, but either way, stack your acorns at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, just take a little bit and start putting it away.
We are not sponsored by acorns.
We're not. We were just talking about acorns in general for squirrels. But start taking money and putting it to the side for yourself. This is, an investment in yourself, which we're going to be getting into later this year, a touch on investment in self. But, the stimulus came and went. I didn't get mine yet, but it came and went. And I'm not struggling. I'm not struggling without it. So be prepared for that. Don't rely on that, as we said in the last video, all of those things. I just think that there's so much that you can do to keep yourself from being part of these statistics. We don't want to see any of you guys struggle. We don't want to hear about any of you guys struggling. I mean, we want to hear about it, but we'll feel bad.
It's the journey coming out of the struggle. It's like always having those moments where things feel like it's rock bottom, things are at its worst, but having that climb out of it, and just having that transitional shift of being like, okay, I'm unemployed right now. Unemployment's not really enough for me to live off of. How do I get a new job or go into a new career? And I always tell people it's definitely okay, especially when you come from a job you have for a minute, you thought you were going to do that for a while. Take a little bit of time to kind of reset yourself, figure out what you want to do, whether that's going back to school, taking some classes, trying to figure out what your career path there is, or turning in a hobby or a passion that you always had into a business. There's always some ways to kind of make money off of whatever you like to do, whether it's Fiverr, whether it's streaming, whether it's starting an actual business and doing it. There are plenty of ways to kind of turn what you know how to do or what you like to do into a company or business or some way to make money around it. So start researching, especially if you're already at home, unemployed or laid off. Use that time to just start applying for random places and seeing what's going on out there in the world and just seeing what you might want to do. You might end up finding something new and be like, okay, I never thought I would like doing this, but I actually love doing it. It's the time to do so. And maybe start thinking about some more pandemic-free options.
Exactly. And here's the thing is that running a business is not for everybody. Entrepreneurship and this life is not for everybody. So don't feel bad if you're like, man, I want to do this. I don't know how to get started. I want to do this, but this is not really my thing. This is not my field of expertise. It's not for everybody. It's hard. It is difficult being an entrepreneur, being in this life, being part of, I have to be able to sustain myself and to sustain my business and to sustain all of the people that are reliant upon me to produce at a specific rate. It's all on you if you fail. And it's a lot of weight. So don't feel bad if you're like, man, I'm not an entrepreneur. That's fine. Find something else that you can do. Don't just sit there. I was talking to a counselor the other day just because why not? And she's like, yeah, I talked to a lot of people that are like, they're sitting around watching 3 and 4 movies back to back every day. What? That's a lot of time. That's I'm like, man, don't your butt
That's 8
hurt?
hours.
Like,
yeah, that's 6 to 8 hours
yeah,
right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get up, exercise, do things that are going to be productive for you as an individual. Take walks, with a mask on. Do your thing, go. Sometimes you're going to have to humble yourself, grab a lower paying job than what you're used to just make ends meet. Do what you got to do, but hustle. Continue to hustle, and continue to be encouraged, especially in this time. You're not alone. And I feel like that's really important to just know that, this is not just you. This is not just your neighbor. This is a nationwide situation that we're in. But we just wanted to kind of shine some light on what that looks like and encourage a little bit of encourage the people and then share some information on it as well.
Because there's people going through these same things a lot. Like I got the idea from this episode. I sent it to Zion because I saw a Reddit post and a whole, dude in there was just talking about how much losing his job and how his just finance have been affected through this past year. And that got me thinking cause same, I lost my job a couple times and just going through that thought process and everything and just how to do better, how to get better, how to make sure you can be set up for success. And it's really like some people have a thing they'll say, that's a future me problem. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes your past self, your future self will thank your past self for setting up what you do today and the seeds you plant today. So think, plan, strategize.
Yeah. I figured that was that touched back on what's the episode where we talked about the future money in China, how they doing future. They speak about money in the future tense.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have to link that below too. So go ahead and check that out. Watch everything because everything that we do they merge together, and there's so much information that you miss if you don't keep up with us. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, takeaways for you guys. We're all here for each other. In the comments section, please, tell people about your stories. Hit us up directly if you want to. Contact us is below and also on our website too. Let us know. We know it's a tough time for everybody still going on with everything going on, but we're in a transitional period. Things will get better and we'll keep striving up higher.
Oh yeah. We out here live for 2021, y'all. We are out here together. It's a new year, it's a new time, and we're excited. But some things stay the same, and y'all already know what it is. We may be young, and we may even be broke, but we are always investing. Thank you guys so much.
Like, share, subscribe. Peace.
Peace.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to Young Broken Investing. We just want to let you know that these are the opinions of the hosts, are not meant to be the basis of any security purchases or investments. We're trying to give a little information out there for everybody and have fun and be safe.